this episode, it's that time of the month again where we dive into one of these containers and grab a fistful of Joes. So, stick around. Dorks and Dorkettes, and welcome to It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. My name's Rob, and in this episode, it is our usual monthly feature of Fistful of Joes. For those of you that have not come along on this journey before, here it goes. I have all my G.I. Joe figures in these handy dandy little containers. And unfortunately, with them being in here, I don't get to look at them or play with them or experience them as much as I want to. So, I use this opportunity to reach in, grab a fistful of them, usually 5, and we take a look at them, review them, play with them, what have you. Generally, we just have a good time and talk about Joe. So, nothing wrong with that. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Yo, Joe! Okay, folks, here we go. I got the container next to me, and now let's reach in and grab 5 random G.I. Joe or Cobra figures, and let's take a look at them. So, let me reach in here. Let me count them out in case we get too many. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, it looks like this container has mostly troop building characters. So please keep that in mind and just know that we could be dealing with some repeats or some repeats down the line. So let's take a look. So first things first, we have another Crimson Guardsman. Now, we just looked at one last week, I think. That's practically the same as this, so we won't waste a lot of time looking at it anymore. Now, I don't remember 100% what that Crimson Guardsman was, but we will look at this dude. And like that one, he has a removable helmet. It looks good. They did a good job with the helmet. It doesn't look too wonky or too big. It looks pretty good. Granted, it's not as sharp as the OGs, but it's not too shabby. And I kind of dig the rifle it comes with because he can hold it here. And comes with a base. Now, these came out in the early 2000s. I believe they were part of the Toys R Us troop building sets that they would release. Let's look a little bit more here. I cannot find any stamps. Okay, on his feet are the stamps. I should have known that from last time. But these say Hasbro 2003. Sorry about that. Oh, that's a little blurry. There we go. 2003 Hasbro. So, like I said, I think this is pretty much the same as the one we just looked at. He has a decent backpack. It's not as cool as like the Crimson V-styled ones that the originals came with, but pretty nice all in all. I'm happy with it. Never had an original one, so I kind of jumped at the chance to get these. So I'm going to put him right there. Maybe move him over a little bit because we'll have some more characters in the way. So I'll put the baggie here so we can reuse it. Now we have a Storm Shadow. And as you can see, this is a pretty good reproduction of the original. Now, granted, it's made in a different kind of plastic and the colors just pop. Let's see if I can find a stamp to what year he was made in. I have a feeling it's going to be, well, what do we got here? Is that 2004? Yep, 2004 Hasbro. So they either used something new or they just updated the stamp. But I mean, honestly, I mean, this is the same figure, just the colors pop, the plastic's a little bit different. It looks like they did a little bit better of a paint application around the eyes. Sorry if it's getting some weird lighting feedback. But got the file card here of the Joeverse Cobra. And this is definitely one that I cut out. Let's see where the bubble was attached. And it still has something sticky on it from the tape they used on the packaging. But he just comes with a simple katana and scabbard. And very chunky. You can see that the scabbard actually is taking some of the silver paint off of it because it fits so super snugly in there. But, I mean, it sucks that it doesn't have the OG backpack and all, but, I mean, what more do you need? I mean, it's pretty cool, pretty basic, and a great reproduction. I mean, my original Storm Shadow is quite beat up, and the colors are a little bit yellowed and nasty, so this is just a nice figure to have. So he doesn't come with a stand. Let's see if we can get him to stand. There we go. Next is, another one of the Plague Troopers that came with those Steel Brigade figures. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the leader. This is Guillotine, Plague Trooper Commander. I don't give quotes. I break bones. Okay, buddy. Pull it back a little bit. But, I mean, all in all, he looks like a very basic, typical figure. Has that big shoulder structure that a lot of them had in this era. And he was part of a Toys R Us pack with the Plague Troopers on one side and Steel Brigade on the other. Part of a styrofoam stuck to his backpack. But, oh, still there. Ah! Anyways, I mean, it's a very basic backpack he comes with. Now, you would give up hope if this was just the character you got. I mean, it's very nondescript. I mean, it's a very basic yet cool Joe. But these are the things that make it a little bit cooler. And let's see if I can find... There we go. Before we get started, I found what I'm looking for. So, first things first, let's take a look at his mask. So we have this awesome mask. And it has these tubes that attach to his backpack, even though he doesn't have any air tanks or anything. He's just plugging it into like a bedroll. So maybe he just likes to smell his laundry detergent. I mean, it would be cool if the backpack had some air tanks or something. So that comes with this super futuristic Puma. That you would think that a gun of this size would have a stock for it. So that, but one of the coolest things this dude comes with is his sword. Check this out. And it might be blurry at first, so I might have to... Look at that. I mean, a little bit smaller than what a Joe skull would be. But, I mean, it's a skull with a spinal cord as the hilt and pommel. And it's a gnarly looking beat up blade. And it goes into his backpack like that. Not very securely, as you can see. Oh, come on. It's a very flimsy blade, too. Look at that. It definitely looks like he's doing his shopping from the Home Shopping Network's knife show, if that's even still on. But it doesn't really, I mean, it's doing pretty good right now, but I don't think it's the best fit. We lost an air hose in the process. Oh, and we lost the sword. Anyway, we will leave him at that. Set him here with this big space age laser rifle. But very top heavy. Big backpack, big gun. Oh, what am I doing? He came with a stand. That makes everything better. And we'll put his sword next to him on his file card. So next is this awesome Viper with a gold, if you can see, face shield. This again was sold in a figure pack from Toys R Us again, I believe. Still has the stickiness from the tape from the outer part of the package. But this is just a Cobra Viper infantryman. But he has the gold, so I may have put the wrong file card in, because gold, I think, would be a leader of some sort. So let me put that back in there, since it's all super sticky. So we have this. Again, they're reusing the mold of the original Viper, which is why I was so excited to get these. I had a Viper growing up, but I somehow misplaced it over the years, so... This I thought was a great alternative than trying to track down an original one. Now, of course, the weapons he comes with are completely different than the original Viper, and he's very stiff. I'm actually scared of the O-ring maybe being a little dry rot, because look at this. That's as much as his legs move. Because I wanted to look at this stamp here. Sorry, I'm going to have to look at it close. It says 2006 Hasbro. So he comes with this awesome submachine gun. Very cheap mold. I mean, look at that. I wonder why it has a hole there. Does he have a peg or something somewhere that it can... doesn't look like it. And he comes with this pretty cool machine gun here. It has a removable drum. So that's pretty nice. It'd be cool if the bipod folded down. So that's not too shabby. And it's pretty cool that the drum can come off. But let's see if we can get it in his hands, because It's one of the newer molds at the time in the 2000s, so it's very chunky, and it's his original molded hands, very stiff plastic, so could break a thumb. Oh, there, I was able to slide it in. His thumb may be worse for wear, but I slid it in. Take that, Joe. Comes with a red base, which is neat. And spoiler, we are going to run into a bunch of other Vipers as we get deeper into this box. So I'll just put him right there next to this Plague Trooper with his little submachine gun. So unfortunately, I can see this one is busted, and I'll have to replace the O-ring. I would do it here on camera, but I don't remember where I put them. So first things first, we see that's rotted out, and his legs are here. But these were a Night Force-esque Cobra troop building pack. You got this Night camouflage here, Cobra symbol here, here, here. They love their marketing. Brand placement. And his legs are also camouflaged. But yet again, it's one of these instances where I didn't have a Cobra soldier growing up. So when I saw these packs, I just leaped at the chance to get them. Got a base, not going to help us right now. And this like over-under machine gun. It's got like a pistol underneath. And machine gun up top. Sights on it. But, I mean, maybe this is supposed to be an M203 with a more, like, solid handle. We'll go with that. But it does kind of look like a pistol. I'll put it in his hands, even though it doesn't really help him at the moment. And I'll have to track down. I got a whole container of O-rings. There we go. So if you're looking at them like that, hey, I'm a tough guy. But then this way, oh no! So, oh, and he came with a knife too. Very nice. Very reminiscent of Outback's knife too. Not Outback, I'm sorry. Hit and Run's knife. Very poor molding. I mean, it's just very, looks unfinished here at the blade. It's cool. It's got the ridges here for the survival knife. Has this... Is that supposed to be a Cobra head? Well, I'll be. We ran into a couple of these knives in the past, but I am only just realizing that is a Cobra. And that is its scales. That's pretty cool. Wow. I appreciate this knife a lot more now. But it looks like this dude went to town on him with that sword. Maybe he did. Maybe he cut him off in the chow line or something. Oh, here we go. Cat coming in. Get down, please, before you knock over everything. Anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here before the cat wrecks everything. So, back to me.
Okay, back to me. Again, that was 100% all Cobra episode of Fistful of Joes. Now, there is nothing more disappointing than getting into your old Joe figures and seeing a busted O-ring. Luckily, I have some put away. I just need to find where they are. And it's a simple fix. I mean, when we were kids, I remember making my own characters out of broken pieces I found here and there. I had neighbors that would play with their Joes in their sand pit, bust them up, break them up, and whenever I found the pieces, I would take them. I mean, I would ask, they didn't care, but I would take them and kind of craft my own Joe figure from the wreckage. Had a ton of fun doing that. But anyway, this was a more troop builder heavy episode as well. And like I said, this last box seems to be a lot of those. So I'm sure we'll see some repeats of some of these down the line. Like I said, I think we saw the Crimson Guardsman actually in last month's episode, so nothing really new there, but it's cool nonetheless. I mean, as a kid, I would have killed to have multiple copies of the Crimson Guardsman or the Cobra Troops, but I didn't even have any of them growing up. So I think that's why I went whole hog in getting multiple copies of them as an adult. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this or any of the episodes YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you will be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky.